Hello, welcome back to Washi Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. You probably knew that. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know, if this is fun for you. So, what I've been doing, just here and there, is taking envelopes. You can tell there are envelopes on the back. And making pockets like that. So these start out, is this the one I wanted? This is the one I wanted. They start out like this. Some have windows, some don't. Some have double windows, some have windows on this side or this side. Anyway, what I love to do with these is, and this works, by the way, this works better with envelopes that are kind of square glued rather than triangle glued like this. The way the pretty design, pattern, safety design is often done in the back. There, you can see there, you get all these little white lines. You get more of them in the patterns that are triangular. I mean, it's still doable. But anyway, it works out better with the square envelope design, squared construction of an envelope. So you tear it apart very gently till you get this. And then you flip it upside down and turn it basically inside out. And different envelopes have different amounts of print. You can tell on this one there's no print on these side flaps, and there's no print on the top flap. But there are plenty of envelopes that do have the pretty pattern on the side. So, and then, so I glue this all, trying to get the most amount of pattern up. And then I cut it in half so that I have one pocket going this way and one pocket going that way. So that's how you do that. But sometimes I've opened the envelope, like instead of carefully opening it this way, I just, open it right on the edge. Take a letter opener or my thumb or anything, and it ends up tearing and it makes a big mess. But anyway, that side is torn. So what I do is I get some washi tape that's either like blue, one of my blue washi tapes for the blue envelopes. See how on a triangle envelope you get a lot of white space? Which is fine, because what you can do is glue this down onto a journal page, and then it's fine, you don't see it. So I could put a little thumb hole right there. And I could, put designs to make this all look like I meant it to look like that. But when I'm using black and white envelopes, I use a black and white tape, which brings me, there's a video about this back. I will try really hard to remember to link it down below so you can find it. But needing black and white washi, let's bring out a couple we can play with. See how the black and white washi tape goes really nicely with the black and white pattern. Yeah, this is one of those envelopes where the pattern was continued, so there's like no, you don't get much white litha. So I'm going to put these there for just a sec. So it brings me to this other thing that I've been doing, which is so much fun. Oh my God. I've seen on YouTube, there are many, many videos about mark making. Go ahead, look that up. It's really fun. There are tons of videos. And sometimes people do mark making like with pencils and charcoal and stuff that even after you draw it, you know, if you brush it or mush it or play with it or throw water on it or something, it'll change. And sometimes people do it with like micron pens, Pitt pens, Sharpie pens, pens that have archival and or permanent ink. And so when you draw, even if you did splash water on it, it wouldn't, I mean, it would mess up the paper, but it wouldn't change the drawing. And then there are people who do mark making with paint, and sometimes they do, this is really fun. They just take a piece of paper, and this time I took black paper and I painted on it with white paint because I don't have any black paint. So I flipped it. Yeah, so this is all just mark making. It's just playing with what do I have to do with my hand to make, you know, pretty recognizable circles. And what happens when I use the paintbrush this way or this way or this way, or there's a lot of paint or there's very little paint? What happens if I take my brush and squiggle it back and forth? Yeah, so it's just like, kindergarten, let's play. So I've been doing this, and then I'm trying to make basically make a new paper, at least, oh, check this out. Make a new paper every single day. A heart, because I love making art, and I love hanging out with you here on YouTube. So this is a white, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a jelly roll pen. What I did was I took a piece of black cardstock and kind of cut it apart like it had shattered somehow, and I glued it to white cardstock. And then the whole page was kind of black, and I thought, A, I'm going to use up a ton of toner, and B, what would happen if I doodled on all the squares? And then a friend told me, or asked me, and was I going to leave some of them blank? And I said, no, I thought about that and I wasn't going to do it. And then I thought, well, I don't know, that could look kind of cool. So, by the way, when I copied this, so awesome. And that's what we're here to do today. We're talking about taking some of these crazy papers, and I did this one on tissue paper, just to, not tissue paper, tracing paper. I'll actually come back to that in a sec. So I saw this wonderful guy talk about, he's an anime artist, I'm pretty sure that's right, and he did his drawings that were a little bit like this. I mean, his were exquisite, beautiful. And he took a pencil, I don't really have a pencil, this is a mechanic, he took an art pencil, and he held it by the side. I have pencils, really I do. So he took his art pencil and he held it by the side and he made little patterns, and I have no idea. I long have forgotten. But I was kind of trying to mimic what he was doing here. And, oh, that's a lovely page. This idea I got from a book I have. Something about making paper Christmas ornaments, paper something. And they did it with a comb through paint. And I just took the idea of overlapping circles, played with that a little bit. I think I'd have more fun with the comb in paint. Here's another, and there are lots of videos about this, about just filling a page with cross hatches, little circles, big circles, kind of dash marks, scribble marks, various geometric shapes, big, large, little, tiny. There's this one woman who, she actually had these little cards, and she made collages with colorful painted papers and various little cards that she had made. And I didn't want to use cardstock. I just wanted to practice making marks. So I took, this might have been a Sharpie. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was, yeah, I don't know which one it was. Oh, here it was. It was this kind of a pen. A sign pen by Pilot. By the way, this pen is really fun. It's got a pretty thick nib. It doesn't say anything about being archival, so my guess is that it's not. So it's not archival, it's not permanent, but it's wicked fun to draw with. Yeah, so I just, every time she made a design, and I think she was using black paint on white card, these little square white cards. So I kind of tried to mimic what she was doing. Actually, this, I'm fairly certain, this is a blue pen, but it's a Sharpie chisel tip. And I think I drew some of these with my black Sharpie chisel tip. Anyway. Yeah, so just on and on and on. I've been making lots of papers and having so much fun. And then I was making, that's been for the last week or so, and then I was making these envelope pockets, and I was thinking it'd be really fun to make a whole journal that was nothing but pages with pockets on them. And I'd have to think up like a gimmick for the cards. Actually, I was thinking of making little sort of mini pamphlet journals with maybe only 1 or 2 pages inside, and notebooks and stuff. And I would make them sort of just slightly taller, but basically the same size as all these envelopes. So it would be a whole book full of mini books. I don't know. I just did that. So I don't know that that's important to do again. But anyway, I was making these and I was thinking this is one of the only black and white tapes that I had. And then I thought, wait a minute. I've been making all of these papers with all these black and white designs on them. And what if I printed them on this, it's Avery paper number 18665. It's made for an inkjet because that's what my copier is. You are seeing all of this, yes? And it's the 8.5 by 11 full size. Now, if you live in a metric sized country, there must be either Avery or some company that makes particular, what is it, A4? You know, the kind of paper that your copiers, yeah, I guess. I don't really know. I just know that in Imperial Measurements, you can get a whole page. Usually they come like in address labels or little tiny circles or little tiny squares or something like that. And this pattern printed on address labels or little circles, I mean, you get like sort of random circles of scribbles. So that could be very fun. But if you get the full sheet labels, then you can cut out whatever you want to cut out. I mean, however big or little, or circles or squares or triangles. So this is the paper. It looks white on one side. And then it has instructions about how to print and stuff on the other side. And you can see right there, you can bend at the, there's, a little slice through the paper part, not the plastic part, and you, for easy peel. So I did that. And I took, well, let's see, some of these papers. Oh yeah, this was the woman who did, she had some drawings of Van Gogh, and she tried to copy Van Gogh's vocabulary of little dashes and marks and waving grain and haystacks, and very cool. It's a wonderful video. Again, I have no idea who it is. I've just been watching lots and lots of mark making videos and copying people once a day. Just doing what they do, trying to extend my own vocabulary of mark making. Yeah, so I took, this was a page that I made specifically in long lines so I could make sort of faux washi tape. But then I thought, oh, I can print this page and just cut it in lines. Well, let's do that. Yes, I could be measuring this. Yes, I could use better scissors. I really have to get those scissors sharpened. So there's one. This one I kind of messed up. I didn't realize I changed papers mid. But look! Remember I did... Where'd it go? So there's the original, and there's how it is on the sticker paper. Let's make a little bit wider tape. So I put this through my printer on, when I take the drawer of paper out and put it back in, it says, oh, what kind of paper did you put in? And I have an HP printer, and I put in what they call specialty paper matte, because it's not shiny like photo paper, so I figured matte was probably better. But then, this is the copy of the tissue paper one. Look, I made this to look like kind of wood. A tree trunk. First figured out this pattern when my dad died in 1981. And my mom started a library of cancer healing books for the local hospital. And I think it was her idea, I'm not really sure, to make book plates that, this was actually really cool, and I have a copy of the book plate that I designed. But it was just a little, what's that, like 2.5 by 4 book plate. And I drew a tree, and it had my dad's initials in the trunk, and I guess my mom's must have been, you know, like 2 branches close to the trunk. And then out in the leaves, when I was drawing all the little leaves, I made little sort of leaf-shaped initials of my brother and my sister and me. So our initials look like leaves. They're kind of, it's like that one of those Haida pictures. So we made that. So there is a hospital in New York that has I hope still a cancer library, cancer book healing book library with those book plates inside. So this is what it looks like when you turn it inside the envelope inside out and glue it down. See, this was a weird envelope. It has the pattern on this side, but it didn't have the pattern on this side. So what I do is I glue up as much as I can, and you can see this edge is a mess. But first, I cut it right here, right along the top of the acetate window stuff. And let's do this one first. So 3 washies I could use. So if this pocket is going to go in here, then I need to tape this closed. And of course you can use, you know, black duct tape or Scotch tape or whatever you want. But let's do this one. And I'll use this tape on the other side. So this is what happens. Made sure those are down. So that's the backing paper. There's the sticker. I'm going to put half of this fake washi tape on this side and half on that side. Now, if I'd been paying attention, I could have cut from this paper like something that would have been wide enough to fit from here to here. So that's like a three and a half inch to get all the way around, and then it would have covered up all of that white space. And I wasn't thinking, because I'm thinking about making a video, not about being a perfect artist. Yeah, so it could cover up this and this, but anyway, that's what you get on the envelope. So it's my washi tape. This is thrilling. Okay, so here's the other one. This time, let's pay attention. We need something that will go from this side and still have enough left over to bend over the other side. So that works. Cut it to size. Okay, so let's peel this up. Oh, come on. One of those creases? No. There we go. There was one of those creases. Oh my gosh, check out the star. This is so fun. This way? No, I think it has to be this way because I need the width right there. Ooh, good. I'm going to get the star on the front. So measure that up. This is being pokey. There. And turn it over. Check this freaking out. Sorry, I'm sort of half swearing and I don't mean to offend. So I could take another piece. See how there's this white, weird, unprinted. Let's do it this way. And now it just looks really cute. So on this one, I will probably do some sort of a hinge thing here, either on the back or on the front, you know, so that you could flip it up, put the hinge into your journal. Then you could flip this up and you could have a little writing spot. I really hope yes I am. A little writing spot underneath, or put a little picture or an inspirational word or a photograph or whatever you want. So this is the cool, fun stuff that I've been doing. And you don't even have to do it just on the edges. Here, let's play with this one. You could we could just, you know, mess around and put washi tape anywhere because it's so much fun. So there, that now covers over that weird little white spot. Now we have another weird white spot there. So let's do it this way. And this Avery stuff really is pretty easy to pull. You put your finger and just pull against it, and it seems to come up pretty easily, and the backing paper comes off. Oops. So you do see that the white space and the pattern paper underneath, but it's all being so kind of noisy with all these different papers. Who cares? Who cares? Ooh, and you know what you could do? Is if there's some shape or design in your washi paper that you just like a lot. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Let's see if there was a thumb hole going to go there. Put this here and have a little shapette. So isn't this like completely and totally fun and just a little bit art addictive? Please say yes. Please say I'm not the only one. So I wish for you, I do not wish you addiction, but I wish you, God no, never, never. But I wish you maybe compelling fun in your studio. Just this curiosity thing that says, oh, if I can do this here, then what if I did this there but added that, you know, like, yeah, just curiosity. I wish you lovely curiosity in your art space, so that you think up really cool, fun things to